Good morning and welcome to Torah Moments. Make sure microphone's looking good. All right. Sorry I had you on hold. I had an important phone call I had to take. But anyway, am I cheap? Depends on how you want to define the term. Let me tell you what I did this week. I went to my daughter's for the last night of Hanukkah, and I drove my truck, and it dawned on me, maybe I could drive better. I know, you're shocked, but maybe I could drive better. And I started paying attention to two things. Of course, the speed limit, which is the law, and my tachometer. Because I realized I was getting in my truck and I pulled up to a red light or stop sign, and then the moment it changed, bam, I'd be putting that thing to the floor. I don't have to be doing that. Then I started realizing that, I put more gas on when I'm going uphill, but I very seldom ever take my foot off the gas going downhill. So I started looking at my tachometer. That tells me how many RPMs there are. And I thought, I'm going to try to drive, the speed limit, and I'm going to make sure that when I come to a hill, I'm going to coast down because I don't lose any speed that way. And when I come to a hill, I'm going to go ahead and have to ascend. But in doing this, I was picking up an extra 6 miles to a gallon. You might think, oh, Rabbi, that's so cheap of you. Really, 6 miles times 22 gallons. Come on, do the math with me. That's 132 miles more per gas tank. That's right. And I'm also looking at like the power companies we have to choose from. I found out that we're paying into the most expensive power, electric power, in Pueblo through our current company, and there are two other choices. So I'm exploring that. So am I cheap? No. I'm a good steward. So then the next question is, well, Rabbi, what are you going to do with all that extra money? I'm going to spend it on my wife. That's right. She has been so good to me. And it seems I need to keep making expressions of appreciation for two reasons. Number one, she deserves it. And number two, I benefit from it. So anyway, but let's get to the whole concept of stewardship real quick. When we realize that the things that God has given us, He's given us as stewards and not as owners. If I'm an owner, I can do whatever I want with it. If I believe God made a way for me to get my particular truck, then I guess He owns it. The food on my table, He gave me work and finances, 3, 2, 1. I guess He owns that too. My house. I guess He owns my house. Roxanne. I believe God, He owns that too. In fact, I came to the conclusion that I'm a steward of everything I attribute to God. His grace, His mercy, His kindness, His gifts, His talents, His graces. If I say, well, God gave this to me, that I'm a steward over it, He gave it to me to put me in charge. Now, of course, you know the story of the talents. The guy who got 10 talents, another got 5 talents, one got 1 talent. And the king goes away and comes back. And he says, well, what have you done with the things I put in your trust? So the guy says, well, here's the original 10, and here's 10 more. Oh, that's 100% profit, by the way. Well, here's the 5, and here's 5 more. That's 100% profit, right? And then one guy says, you gave me 1 talent, and I know that you don't like to lose. So I buried it into the ground. And here's your 1 talent. Well, that 1 talent, maybe gold, silver, whatever, was taken away and given to the one who had 10 talents. Now, let me tell you, why would he do that? He broke even. No, he did not. Inflation. I can shove it in the ground, and inflation. So anyway, I have to be a little careful on things like that. So the same story appears in the Talmud. And I'm going to be honest, I like the Talmud story first. Okay, the first person received, let's see, what was it? 10 talents, that's right. Okay, and the second person received 5 talents, but the third person was given a field. What do you do with a field? When the king returned, of course, the person who had 10 talents, of course, doubled it. Person who had 5 talents, of course, doubled it. And then he looks at the guy who gave the field to and says, and what did you do with my field? The man goes, they bring a table in and set before the king. And then they put a cloth upon the table. Then they brought in hot, delicious bread. So the king looks at this and says, okay, tell me. Well, the wood that made this table is from your field. And the tablecloth is made out of flax that also came from the field. And the bread is where we put wheat into the ground and it grew. And the king was so impressed He took the other talents away and gave them to the man who had the field. But why? Why would he do that? Because wouldn't you take and just make more of the same thing? Has it really evolved? Or just got bigger? But the man who had the field, he saw what it could be. And thus he made the table, the tablecloth, and bread. He took everything to its next generation and fulfilled its purpose. And I think as believers today, whatever God gives us, we should be taking to its next generation and fulfill its purpose. So, am I cheap? No. I'm investing what I'm saving into something else that pleases the Lord. In fact, it gives me the ability to give more charity. It gives me the ability to do more things with Roxanne. It gives me the ability to stash a little away for a hard time. But it does not give me the ability or permission to hoard. And hoarding is the worst sin, in my opinion, just my opinion, that you can do. Because it's doing nothing. It's like the man who planted the talent into the ground. It didn't grow. It just laid there and depreciated. It's kind of like people who rent storage lockers and storage spaces. And they fill those things up, right? Do they ever really plan on using them again? Most of the stuff that goes in a storage locker winds up in a yard sale eventually. Just get rid of it. It's in the way. Anyway, that's my opinion. So is a rabbi cheap? No. I hope I'm a good steward. And I hope my stewardship causes other areas of my life to prosper. As I know it does in yours. I know a couple of people who are very gracious with what God has given them. Very. And yet, it doesn't seem to diminish. There was a song that was sung during the offering in a church I attended. And I remember the first words of the song, "You can't beat God's giving." Okay. And it implied the more you give, the more you receive. And I used to think about that, and I realized that we are, what's the right word? Conduits. And a lot of times things are supposed to simply flow through us, and we're not to dam it up and back it up, but let it flow through. Once, and this is me being honest with you, I had a phone bill. When I first started ministry, doing Sunshine House, the Halfway House, okay, and my phone bill was $142. Are you ready? Yep. $142. And I started praying, "Oh God, please pay your bills. Lord, I'm here doing this and this and this, and would you please pay your bills?" And as I'm praying, I was sitting there, just shaking my head. Phone rang. Of course, you know that was coming. And guess what? A person on the other end of the line says, "I don't know why, but a check came to my house for you. It's for $158. That's $142 plus the tithe. Yeah, I'm not kidding. So anyway, this season, be a good steward. Don't go crazy. Don't go in the hole. Okay? You may spend till you're broke, but not until you're broken. Okay? So, now may God bless you and keep you and cause his face shine upon you, and be gracious unto you, and lift up his countenance to you, and may give you peace. Hit some buttons. Let's share this together. Now, I won't be doing a program on Christmas Day. I'll be at the police department serving breakfast. So, anyway, that said and done, I'll go ahead and let you go. But take good care. Realize it's good to be us. The world might be going to hell in a handbasket, but it's good to be us. Take good care.